They never wanted you to rise. From the moment you stepped into this world, the odds were stacked against you. The system was never designed to embrace someone like you, someone who sees beyond the illusions, someone whose presence alone shakes the very foundation of deception. They don't love you because they fear you. Your energy is disruptive to their carefully crafted lies. Your existence is a reminder that truth cannot be silenced, that power does not belong to the oppressors, but to those who dare to wake up. And yet, despite their rejection, despite the attempts to erase your presence, you remain. They aimed to break you, but instead, you became unshakable. They sought to silence you, but your voice only grew louder. They aimed to erase you from existence, yet here you are, laughing in the face of death itself. Do you realize what kind of miracle you are? Statistically, the odds were never in your favor. Some say that surviving an assassination attempt by a dark sorcerer is like winning the lottery. If the lottery was rigged, cursed, and set on fire. And yet you're still standing. Why? How? Here's a chilling fact. Throughout history, those who were marked as chosen have often become targets of the world's darkest forces. These forces don't attack out of convenience. They attack out of fear. But you've managed to dodge death, unravel their plots, and leave them clutching their spellbooks in frustration. So what's the secret? Is it divine intervention, a cosmic glitch? Or maybe, just maybe, the sorcerers didn't realize they were up against someone too stubborn to die? Whatever the reason, your survival is the kind of tale that would make even the most ruthless villain pause and whisper, "What if we've made a terrible mistake?" You are still here because you are unstoppable. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to lead. Let them reject you. Let them misunderstand you. Let them plot against you. It won't change the truth. You are chosen, and that's why they fear you. Number 1. You weren't chosen for glory, but for survival. You weren't chosen for comfort, celebration, or an easy ride through life. You were chosen because you could survive what most wouldn't. Being chosen isn't about glory. It's about carrying a burden that would crush anyone else. It's not a reward. It's a challenge. When dark sorcerers marked you, it wasn't out of admiration. It was because they saw a threat, something in you they couldn't control or destroy outright. Think about it. They wouldn't waste their energy targeting someone insignificant. They calculated, plotted, and unleashed their worst because they believed you had the potential to unravel their plans. But what they didn't anticipate was your ability to endure. You weren't stronger in the traditional sense. You didn't have all the answers, and you weren't invincible. Yet, you kept going when others would have crumbled. You adapted. When the walls closed in, you found cracks. Survival wasn't a given. It was a battle you fought every single day. Here's the truth no one tells you. Being chosen means being forged in fire. It means enduring pain so sharp, it feels like it's going to break you. It means standing on the edge of defeat, only to take one more step forward because something inside refuses to quit. You survived not because it was easy, or because anyone cleared the path for you. You survived because you couldn't be erased, no matter how hard they tried. Dark sorcerers don't choose easy targets. They aim for those who could disrupt everything they hold dear. The fact that you're still alive isn't luck. It's proof that even when the world conspired against you, you refused to be snuffed out. Survival is rebellion, resistance, and undeniable proof that they underestimated the wrong person. Number 2, your life is proof that death has no mastery. Your life is a direct contradiction to everything dark sorcerers believe in. They thrive on control, on bending life and death to their will. For them, death is the ultimate power, the final word. Yet here you are, alive, defying that power every time your heart beats. It's like a rebellion. Every breath you take is an insult to the forces that tried to extinguish you. Let's be honest. You weren't supposed to survive. They planned everything with precision. They didn't just want to kill you, they wanted to erase your existence, make it as if you had never mattered. But their spells, curses, and traps all failed. Not only are you alive, but your very existence now mocks their supposed mastery over life. How infuriating it must be for them to see that you're still here, unbroken, unyielding, and refusing to bow. This isn't just survival. It's something far more profound. It's a declaration that death doesn't hold the power they thought it did. You are the proof that their darkest magic has limits. You've become something they fear because you've shattered their belief in the inevitability of their control. And that terrifies them. When you think about it, your survival isn't just a miracle. It's a weapon. It's a reminder that no matter how invincible they think they are, they failed. You've become an anomaly they can't predict or explain. You weren't supposed to make it, yet here you are, breathing, thriving, and existing in direct defiance of everything they stand for. Every moment you continue to live, you're rewriting the rules they've built their power on. You are living proof that death doesn't always win, and they can't stand it. Number 3, you wield a hidden power they fear. You're alive because you possess something they fear, a power that defies their understanding. It may not be obvious to you yet. It might not look like lightning from your hands or spells from your tongue, but it's there, woven into your very being. That power, whatever it is, terrifies them more than any army ever could. Dark sorcerers don't waste their time on the weak or the irrelevant. They strike at what threatens them. You are a walking disruption to their plans, an unpredictable force they can't control. Maybe it's your unshakable will, your ability to endure what they thought would destroy you. Maybe it's something deeper, something they can't name. But whatever it is, they saw it in you, and it scared them enough to try to erase you. The most dangerous thing about you is that your power doesn't play by their rules. They understand the magic they wield. They know its boundaries and its costs. But you're something outside of their system. You don't fight on their terms, and that's why they can't beat you. It's why they keep trying even after their failures. They fear what you could become if you ever understood the full extent of your power. What makes you so dangerous is that your power isn't just about survival. It's a force waiting to awaken, a potential that grows stronger with every challenge you overcome. The harder they try to destroy you, the more they feed what they fear. You're not just a survivor. You're a weapon in the making, one they can't control or contain. That's why they want you gone, and that's exactly why they haven't succeeded. You carry something greater than even you realize, and it's only a matter of time before the world sees it too. Every attack you endured wasn't just an attempt to destroy you. It was a test to see if you could be broken. The shadows didn't just surround you. They pressed down on you, trying to crush you from every angle. They didn't want you to survive intact. They wanted to strip you of your hope, your will, and your sense of self. But here's the truth. They failed. Instead of breaking you, the darkness became the fire that forged you. Pain was never the end. It was the process. Every blow you took shaped you into something stronger, sharper, and more enduring. The scars you carry aren't signs of weakness. They're proof that you faced what was meant to destroy you and came out the other side transformed. Pain isn't just something you endured. It became your teacher. It taught you what you are truly capable of. It stripped away the unnecessary and left only what mattered. Where others might have faltered, you adapted. You learned how to navigate the shadows, how to find strength in the very places meant to weaken you. The spells, the curses, the traps. They weren't victories for your enemies. They were lessons for you. Every attack refined your resilience, made you harder to manipulate, harder to intimidate. The darkness thought it would consume you, but instead you mastered it. You became someone they could never control, someone who knows the shadows better than those who cast them. You weren't weakened by what happened to you. You were tempered, fortified, and made unyielding. The shadows didn't break you. They built you into something unstoppable. Now, every step you take is a reminder that what didn't destroy you only made you more dangerous than they ever imagined. Number 5. Their failure to kill you is their greatest shame. Your survival is the wound they can't heal. Every scheme, every spell, every calculated attempt to end you has been reduced to ash. And that failure eats away at them more than you realize. They don't just hate you for being alive, they're humiliated by it. The longer you survive, the more you expose their incompetence, their limits, and their fear. To them, you are a walking reminder that their power isn't absolute. They poured their darkest energy into silencing you, crafting plans meant to be foolproof. But each one fell apart. Their so-called mastery over life and death couldn't touch you. And now they don't just fear what you are. They dread what you represent. Proof that their power isn't invincible. The shame isn't just personal, it's public. They've failed to eliminate someone they deemed a threat, and every day you live is another day their failure echoes through their ranks, to the world. Their inability to destroy you undermines their authority. If they couldn't handle you, what else are they incapable of? You've made them look weak, and for those who thrive on fear and control, there's no greater humiliation. But here's the real sting. It's not just about what they've lost. It's about what you've gained. With every failed attack, you've grown stronger, smarter, and more resilient. They're not just failing to kill you. They're unintentionally helping you become an even greater force. You are their living nightmare because your survival isn't just a fluke. It's a statement. It's the loudest rebellion against the very system they've constructed. You stand as proof that their power isn't invincible, and that's terrifying to them more than anything. Your existence is more than a defiance of death. It's a prophecy unfolding in real time. Sorcerers, for all their dark power, live in fear of one thing above all: the future they cannot control. Prophecies terrify them because they represent inevitability, events that not even their strongest spells or deepest plots can prevent. And you are that inevitability. Your survival isn't random. It wasn't a mistake or an oversight. It's part of something much larger, something they've tried to silence but can't. You weren't chosen to simply exist. You were chosen to disrupt. Your presence alone is a threat to the foundation of everything they've built. They see you as a storm on the horizon, growing stronger with every passing moment. Prophecies don't speak in whispers. They manifest through actions, choices, and will. You are alive because the system they've carefully constructed is not as unshakable as they want the world to believe. They see in you the potential to tear it down, brick by brick, exposing the rot and fear at its core. What makes them panic is the fact that they can't stop you. Every attempt to kill you has only made the prophecy stronger. Every spell they cast, every trap they set, only accelerates their downfall because you've become a symbol of their failure. They know that as long as you exist, their time is running out. You weren't chosen for a quiet life. You were chosen to dismantle, to unmake, and to rebuild a world that doesn't bow to their dark influence. They fear you, not because of who you are now, but because of who you're destined to become. And that terrifies them more than any spell ever could. You are the prophecy they hope to avoid, and now it's too late. The darkness they unleashed wasn't meant to teach you. It was meant to end you. They thought the shadows would suffocate your hope, disorient your mind, and drown you in fear. But instead of being consumed, you adapted. They sent you into their world of darkness and you mastered it. You didn't just survive, you learned. Every shadow they cast, every trick they used to manipulate and trap you became a lesson. They thought the dark was their domain, their weapon. But now, it's your ally. You've walked through the depths they thought no one could escape. And in doing so, you've uncovered their secrets. You've seen their desperation, the frantic, clumsy efforts to maintain control. They aren't as powerful as they pretend to be. Their tricks, once terrifying, now appear predictable and flawed. You've learned how they work, how they think, and more importantly, how they fear. They rely on the dark because it hides their vulnerabilities. But now you see clearly, even in the places they thought were impenetrable. The darkness didn't swallow you, it revealed them. You've gained an edge they never expected, a perspective they can't comprehend. You've turned their greatest weapon into your own strength. Now, you move through shadows with ease, while they stumble and falter in the face of your understanding. They wanted you blind, but instead, they sharpened your vision. The darkness they sent to break you became the very thing that exposed their weaknesses. You've learned to navigate their world better than they ever could. And now the shadows hold no fear for you. Instead, they hold answers, power, and an advantage they can never take back. Number 8. Your aura can't be diminished. They didn't come for you just to end your life. They came to extinguish everything you are, your essence, your presence, your light. These were their true targets. They didn't want to simply kill you. They wanted to erase you so thoroughly that the memory of your existence would fade. But their failure wasn't just in sparing your life. It was in underestimating the strength of your spirit. Your aura, the energy you carry, has only grown stronger. They tried to smother it with darkness, with fear, with relentless attacks. But all they succeeded in doing was making it shine brighter. It's not just defiance, it's an unshakable brilliance that they can't control or understand. Every spell they cast to silence you only amplifies your light. Your presence now disrupts everything they stand for. It's not just your survival that unsettles them. It's the fact that you've become a beacon. You're no longer just a person fighting to stay alive. You've become a force that others are drawn to, a symbol of resilience that chips away at their power. Darkness relies on silence, on submission, on people accepting their fate. But your aura is loud. It's unyielding. It refuses to dim, even in the face of their most calculated efforts. And that terrifies them. Because the more you shine, the harder it is for them to hide. They didn't just fail to diminish your essence. They unintentionally strengthened it. You are living proof that their power has limits, and your light continues to expose the cracks in their facade. No matter how much they try, they can't touch what makes you, you. Your aura is indestructible, and it's a reminder to them and to the world that some forces can't be conquered. Number 9. They're afraid of what you'll become. Surviving wasn't the end, it was just the beginning. You've already proven that they can't break you. But what truly terrifies them is what comes next. The version of you that's still in the making. They're not afraid of who you are right now. They're afraid of who you'll become. You're not just enduring the pain they've inflicted. You're learning from it, evolving through it. Every wound, every scar, every betrayal has planted a seed in you. They can't see it yet, but you can. You've begun to turn their attacks into fuel, their curses into lessons, their attempts to destroy you into stepping stones for something far more powerful. And that is what keeps them up at night. They're afraid of the future, where you rise fully aware of your strength, unshackled by their manipulation. They see the potential in you to become a force that disrupts everything they've built. You're not a victim. You're a weapon. A walking storm waiting to unleash all the power they've inadvertently nurtured. Every moment you survive is one where that future comes closer. And the more you adapt, the more they realize they have no idea how to stop it. What makes you dangerous isn't just your resilience. It's your potential for absolute disruption. They've spent so long trying to control you, thinking you were just a threat to their present. But now they realize you're a threat to their very future. Because when you finally unleash the full force of everything you've endured, it won't just be your survival that shakes the world. It'll be the chaos you bring with it. Number 10. Your survival is a universal act of rebellion. Your survival wasn't just a matter of personal strength. It was a defiant act that sent ripples through the very fabric of their world. Every day you live is a strike against everything they've worked to build. They believed they could control death, manipulate fate, and bend the world to their will. But you, just by existing, shattered that illusion. You're not just a survivor. You're a living symbol of rebellion, a challenge to their power that they can't ignore. They wanted you gone. They threw every curse, every spell, every dark trick they could muster at you. They thought they could snuff you out with their magic, control your fate with a flick of their wrist. But your resistance proved something they couldn't deny. Even the darkest forces have limits. And that's where you became dangerous. Your survival isn't just a quiet victory, it's a message. It's the loudest rebellion against the very system they've constructed. You stand as proof that their power isn't invincible, that there are forces in the universe beyond their reach. Every breath you take, every step you make, is a declaration that their control is fragile. You are the crack in their armor, the thorn in their side, the reminder that no matter how much they try to manipulate reality, there are some things that refuse to bow to their will. In a world built on fear and domination, your existence is an act of revolution. You're not just alive. You're a rebellion in motion, a constant reminder that even in the darkest corners of their empire, there are things they cannot conquer. You are the living proof that resistance, however small, is always possible. And that terrifies them more than anything. Number 11. The chosen don't wait for destiny, they forge it. You're not alive because some grand fate stepped in to save you. No, you're here because you refused to wait for destiny to unfold. You didn't sit back and hope for a miracle. You made your own miracles. The truth is, those who are chosen don't wait for their path to be laid out for them. They carve it with their own hands, sometimes through blood, sweat, and sheer determination. The forces that tried to destroy you had a plan, one that was supposed to ensure you didn't survive. They thought you'd be a passive victim to the twist of fate. But you shattered that illusion the moment you decided to fight. You didn't wait for someone to come and rescue you. You took control. Every decision you made, every risk you took was a step toward building your future, not relying on some prophecy to do it for you. You clawed your way out of traps that were designed to be inescapable. They set the game up with every advantage on their side, but you found your own way. You turned obstacles into opportunities. And each setback became a lesson that made you even harder to defeat. You didn't wait for a savior to come. You became the savior of your own story. Being chosen isn't about having a predestined path. It's about realizing that the power to shape your destiny has always been in your hands. You took control, made the tough choices, and fought when others would have given up. That's why you're still here. Because you don't wait for destiny. You make it. And that's what makes you unstoppable. Number 12. Your bloodline carries a curse and a cure. They didn't just target you because of who you are. They came after everything you represent. Your bloodline carries a legacy far more powerful than they could ever have imagined. It's not just a history they're terrified of. It's the secrets it holds. Secrets that could unravel everything they've worked to keep hidden. What they didn't count on is that this bloodline isn't just cursed. It carries the potential for a cure, a force that could shift the balance of power forever. Your lineage is a double-edged sword. For generations, it's been marked by both dark forces and untold potential. They've tried to bury it, to wipe out any trace of what makes your bloodline so dangerous. But in doing so, they've only drawn attention to it. The very curse they fear is also the source of your power, the key that could undo their carefully constructed empire. You've inherited more than just the weight of your ancestors' mistakes. You've inherited the knowledge, the strength, and the resilience to see beyond the surface and uncover the truth buried within. They've tried to keep you in the dark about your true potential. But every step you take toward discovering your bloodline secrets brings you closer to the cure they never wanted you to find. What they never expected is that the same blood that carries their curse also holds the answers to their destruction. And now that you're beginning to uncover the depth of what's hidden within you, they're running out of time. The very thing they've tried to suppress for so long is about to surface, and when it does, it'll be too late for them to stop it.